Hey guys, my name's Donnie Godsey with Cross Care Ministries. I'm very excited to show you guys a little teaching tool that fits in with some of the other tools that we present, and it's called the 5 Stages of Recovery. Now, I'm taking this from the 5 stages of grief, but also applying it for any type of recovery, whether it's with drug and alcohol abuse recovery or some life trauma recovery. Regardless, this is kind of a pattern, a known pattern that people will go through. Many times, people who are wanting to help others don't really have an understanding on how to get out of any particular stage. Even though these 5 stages are very known and very observable, oftentimes people who want help aren't finding someone who can say, look, this is the stage you're in, and this is how you get out of it. Many times they'll simply say, this is the stage you're in. All right, great. Well, how do I get out? Well, everyone processes this stuff differently. But come on, that's not really a satisfactory answer. You don't want to just know where you are. You want to know how to get out of that mess. So this is something that I really pressed into the Lord about. I feel like He gave me some very substantial answers with it, and I'm happy to share this with you. So check it out. Here are the 5 stages, and if you have a blank piece of paper, this is how I want you to follow along. I want you to take the paper and turn it sideways. At the top, I want you to write 5 stages of recovery. Also want you to write in across the top 5 columns that we're going to be talking about. The first column to write down is stages. The next column is description. After that, the next column is permission. The column after that is crisis of. And then the column after that is choose between. We're going to go through the 5 different stages, their descriptions, what the question of permission is, what that particular crisis is that the person's battling, and also what choice you have of choosing to be in this or to be in that. I had the opportunity to share this with several clients even today. The reaction with everyone has been, this is really potent, great stuff. It gave them crystal clarity on what was going on with them in the moment. Now let's drop back for a quick second, and I want to use alcohol and drug recovery as part of the backdrop for these stages, because it was looking at both the grief issues and the typical sticking points that different people have in their recovery through alcohol and drug rehab, and mixing those together and looking at how they relate to each other gave powerful insights for both groups. So let's take a look at those. The first stage I want to talk to you about is denial. The description that we want to just write in there is what people typically say when they're in denial. And that is, there's not a problem. And those people can many times be very passive with it, of just doing avoidance. And other times they can be very aggressive, saying, no, there's not a problem. What's your problem? Regardless if they're being passive or aggressive, the main thing that you look for is there's not a problem. And they can do this, like I said, very aggressively, or they can be very kind of easygoing with it, but they're sloughing it to the side. There's not a problem. I don't see what the problem is. There's really not a problem here. When in fact, yes, there is a problem. In the next category, under permissions, the real question for the person is, do I have permission to see and feel what this problem is all about? Because if you're wanting to be blind to it, then you're going to be in denial. If you don't want to feel what may be coming along with this problem, then you'll also reject it with denial. It's an easy first stage to be stuck in. This is a crisis of reality. And using Alcoholics Anonymous language here, you really have the choice between insanity or hope. Because if you're denying reality, that's a form of insanity. To use very harsh words here. But that's the truth. You're either going to be in la la land over it, or you're going to turn in a direction of reality, but it's also with the promise of hope. Because if there is no hope, then screw it. I'll just be in la la land. And I wouldn't blame you, but the truth is there's always hope for your situation.